Hi, this is Mark Andrews from Pega, and welcome to the Way Forward in Financial Services. Today, I have Arnold Kudich with me, and we're going to be talking about how banks are looking to accelerate their digital transformation efforts. Welcome to the show, Arnold.
Thank you, Mark. Happy to be here.
So Arnold actually spent a bunch of his time working in lending operations at Rabobank International before recently joining Pega and working with us on some of our digital transformation solutions. So I was hoping, Arnold, today you could talk to us a little bit about some of the challenges that you see banks facing, and what are the things that have surfaced during the crisis situation?
Yeah, let me elaborate on that. We definitely see interesting things happening and a definite change in prioritizations and acceleration, if you will. And as in the crisis now, volumes have gone up across the board, volumes in the requests across a wide variety of financing services and coming from various customer segments like students, self-employed, small, medium enterprises, specific corporate segments and sectors with very specific needs. So currently for banks, the automation is just not extending across the broad set of service needs. And it's just not intelligently done from front to back end. And also they are not just able to quickly adapt and change.
So how do banks go about addressing this as we move forward?
Yeah, so single point mobile apps and web forms to capture and just store requests are not going to cut it anymore. I mean, work like requests for help, they need to be picked up and brought to full completion, not just registering them. And it needs to be done across all channels and in a connected way. And business logic cannot just be embedded in the channels themselves. They need to be centralized, and all these needs to be within the rules of the game, according to relevant policies. And what we can do really well now is complexity in the underlying banking systems. We can hugely simplify them, and data can be better shared in real time. And by adding external data into these insights, our customer interaction processes can be faster, clearer, and much more specific at scale.
So how is this going to help, or who is this going to impact within the financial services environment?
Yeah, good question. So simple: customers, clients, and staff. So the bank will have end-to-end automation at its disposal and the ability to manage cases with high speed and efficiency and transparency. We will be aware of the status of the case and what is needed to bring it to completion, and learning from best practices and bringing those insights right back into the process. So we can bring guidance in the process and have low learning curves for staff. They can now focus on the high value customer pieces, and with the digital automation taking care of the policies, the processing itself, and the prioritization of work.
So Arnold, do you have any examples of companies that have been able to start or accelerate their digital transformation journeys? I know we've heard a lot about how banks were sort of behind a lot of the peers in other industries, behind companies in media and entertainment and retail and other areas, and we definitely see this raising an eye on those gaps that they had in their capabilities. Who's doing this well, and how are they going about that?
Yeah, so we see quite a bit of best practices, and we've already seen great results from digital transformation like a year ago in the past recent history. And it's always been with the banks that started with smaller, high benefit projects, especially in lending and service automation. So we now have very useful technology available that can change the game, really. And automation with electronic document handling and language processing, team collaboration, relationship managers, credit department, and decision making. And email bots, they can automatically handle inbound requests. And the learnings and the technology from this first small project, we can reuse that in the next, and we can create a steep learning curve for the organization to have further successful digital projects, and really do that with a vision, an end goal in mind. So banks that have followed that path and are following that path, they are very successful.
Well, that's great to hear. And I think we're seeing that in organizations that there's obviously a lot of opportunity to improve automation, and provide services in a more digital manner, but it needs to be done in a way that can extend across all the channels our customers are interacting with the banks, and it needs to be able to work with all the existing back-end systems you kind of talked about. So this has been really helpful, Arnold. Appreciate you spending the time with us, and hope all of our viewers are doing well. And we look forward to having you on our next episode, where we'll be talking about how to actually go about reducing manual activities as part of your digital transformation efforts. Thank you, Arnold.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Cheers. Thanks.